Good afternoon and a warm welcome to News Today on the Joy News channel on DSTV channel 41 and Go TV channel 144. My name is Mapitso Sibiri. Coming up, couple beats 4-year-old daughter to death for bedwetting. We'll hear from the police as husband and wife are currently in police custody. Also, full trial for the Takoradi fake pregnancy and kidnapping case begins today with cross-examination of 2 witnesses from the accused side, with the husband insisting he saw his wife's naked belly from the 1st to the 10th month before relocating to live with his mother-in-law. More from today's court proceedings. Also in this bulletin, subscribers to various telephone networks queuing to re-register their SIM cards and the ongoing re-registration exercise demand innovative ways to easing the process from service providers. We're live at some of the registration centers for an update on the situation. Also, latest Joy News investigations uncover how children are trafficked for 1,000 Ghana cedis to engage in various labor in cocoa farms in parts of the western region. We have details. We have business, sports, world news and showbiz all in this hour. Stay with us for details. Thank you for staying with us. In our first story, Salome Otaku, 27, and her husband, Effa Donaldson, 34, a couple at Enchi Yakase in the Awun municipality in the western region, have beaten their 4-year-old daughter to death for bedwetting. Confirming the incident, ACP Henry Bacho, the Enchi Police Divisional Commander, said that the suspects caned little Francisca Etua till she fell unconscious. She was rushed to Owen Community Clinic but died while receiving treatment.
Police had information that the couple named Salome Etute and Daniel Effa, they beat their 4-year daughter and she fell unconscious. And then she was rushed to the Awin Community Clinic at New York Castle. While she was treating treatment, she passed on. But the couple decided to go and hide the body in their room, covered with ajampo leaves, expecting to bury the child in the night. So when we had the information, we went there and it was true. So we picked them together with the body to Enchi. The body is deposited at government hospital in Enchi here, and the husband and the wife are in our custody for investigation. We heard from the suspects was that the disease, what is the name? Okay, the diseased girl used to urinate in the night, and they tried to punish her by using hot water. She sat on hot water. Then that one doesn't serve them right, and they whipped her and broke her arm, and then she was rushed, and she fell unconscious. She was rushed to the hospital, our Wing Community Hospital at New York, where she died.
We'll bring you more details from our correspondent in Athala later in the bulletin. But husband of Josephine Payne Simons, the woman at the center of the Takoradi fake pregnancy and kidnapping case, has told the court that he saw his wife's naked belly from the 1st month to the 10th month when they relocated to Old Johnson Road, also in Takoradi, to live with his mother-in-law. Michael Simons' testimony came up during a cross-examination by the lead counsel for the accused, lawyer Fifi Bachman, at the Takoradi Circuit A. Full trial began with the cross-examination of 2 of the prosecution witnesses, that's husband and the mother of the accused today. Correspondent Inathala was in court and will be joining us live later with more details. But first, let's hear from the lawyer for the accused, Fifi Bachman.
Oh, there hasn't been any surprise. They brought their statements and I had to subject those statements through fire. That's what we call cross-examination. So I am trying to discredit what they have said. I'm trying to discredit them, that they are not witnesses to be believed by the court. And also what they have said is not to be believed by the court. And we are just, trying to ensure that the law takes its course. That's all.
I mean, at the point, you accuse the prosecutor of asking not examinable questions. Can you explain?
No. The law has, rules. If you put in your witness and the witness is cross-examined, we say that if you see that the witness has been bruised, which affects your case, and there is an ambiguity which is to be cleared, or a new fact has come up, under cross-examination, you have to seek clearance from the witness so that you make your case. So as a lawyer on the other side, you have to be very, very apt. You have to have an eagle eye and listen to what he's asking so that he doesn't, clear it. I have bruised him, so I want him to continue to be bruised till he dies. And the, prosecution would want to revive him. And that is where I stood against, and the court, upheld my...
What were these contradictions that you noticed in the witness statements during your cross-examination? The issue of she telling the prosecutor in a statement that he did not see the stomach, the pregnant stomach of the wife. What are some of these?
Yes, I will have to keep my arsenals with me because there are other witnesses coming. I can't reveal my arsenals until I finish with all of them.
How many witnesses are we expecting to see?
I think we are expecting about 4 more or 3.
Making 7?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to Inathala for that update. Now, some anchor customers are fuming over the delay in the ongoing SIM re-registration process at the various outlets of the telcos. The exercise, which is the last in the 2-level process to incorporate SIM card details with the National Identification Database, has been characterized by long queues and widespread technical hitches. Many of the stranded customers who spoke to Joy News say they have waited several hours without any hope of completing the process. We'll bring you that story later in the bulletin. Let's go back to Inathala on our first 2 stories. Ina, let's start with the beating of the child to death. Tell us more about that and tell us about the couple. Hi, Inathala, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, so our first story reported that a couple has allegedly beat their child to death, 4-year-old child to death. Tell us more about that case.
Yes, ma'am. That's rather a disturbing story coming from the western region town of Enchi, Yakase. So the police commander there, the divisional commander, Henry Bachel, confirmed this to me, that these couple who had their 4-year-old child bedwetting beat the young girl up, by caning. So the young girl fell unconscious. When the young girl was rushed to the hospital after some time to the clinic, a community clinic, the young lady couldn't make it and then she died. For now, the couple are in the custody of the police. They are investigating the case, and then they tell me that they would be arraigned before court. Matt, I've also been speaking to residents around to find out if indeed this young girl is the couple's biological daughter, and they tell me that yes, and they are shocked at what these couples have done to their little girl. So that is it coming from the Western North region.
Ina, have you seen the couple and how do they look like?
Well, we were not allowed to speak to them or even have a look at them.
All right, so I'm going to stay with you for a while longer. Let's talk about the Takoradi kidnapping case. Can you please give us an update on that one?
Yes, so today they began the trial. The trial commenced today, and then 2 witnesses were called today. That is the husband of the accused, Josephine Simons, her husband Michael Simons, and the mother Agnes Hazel. When the mother was caught, when the husband, let's start with the husband who was caught first, he was cross-examined by the lead counsel, lawyer Philip P.T. Bachman, who asked him that did he see the wife's physical belly while she was pregnant? The husband responded that yes, he had seen the wife's physical belly from the 1st month to the 10th month when they were living at Columbia, a suburb of Takoradi. So the wife moved to Old John Sabah Road, also a suburb of Takoradi. The lawyer continued to, query if how long he had stayed with the wife before she conceived, and he said that he stayed with the wife for 2 years before she conceived. And so these are some of the issues that came up in court. The mother of the lady, Agnes Hazel, who was also cross-examined, was asked whether she had also seen the child pregnant, and she said yes. The lady in question is her biological daughter, and she had seen her pregnant.
Yeah.
And then at the police station, she was asked that she should admit that the daughter was not pregnant because the Azim Government Hospital had brought a report to say that the daughter had not been pregnant, and that if she had not admitted to the fact that the daughter was not pregnant, she was going to be locked up, and indeed she was locked up till the following day.
Yeah.
But I have been speaking to the lead counsel, lawyer Philip P.T. Bachman, after the case. Let's listen to what he said.
Okay, we'll bring you that sound of lawyer Fifi Bachman. But that was my colleague Inathala Akonsa, and she's been giving us an update of what's been happening in the Western region with those 2 particular cases. Let's come back here to Accra, where some angry customers are fuming over the delay in the ongoing SIM re-registration process at the various outlets of the telcos. The exercise, which is the last in the 2-level process to incorporate SIM card details with the National Identification Database, has been characterized by long queues and widespread technical hitches. Many of the stranded customers who spoke to Join You say they have waited several hours without any hope of completing the process.
For the past 3 days, since the working days in the year 2022 started, what we've seen at a lot of the outlets of the various telcos are long queues, as you can see in your shot, with people attempting to finish that exercise of merging their SIM card details with their national identification details. The problem, however, has been that the process has been, quite infamously slow, with a lot of them, having to spend days. There are people that I've spoken to here who have been here since Tuesday and are never able to complete this entire registration process. Well, the very first step is a self-help step with a short code where people could use their phones and then link their data to the National Identification Authority's data. The next step is to be at the the outlet of the telcos for their biometric details and so on and so forth to be captured. Some of them have been in the queues for far too long, and it's becoming really frustrating for them. Let me speak to just a few of them and find out. Madam, what's your name? You're live on a Joy News channel. How long have you been here anyways?
Okay, I've been here yesterday. I came here yesterday around 6. I couldn't do it because after being through the line, they told me that I have to do some linking, and because I've done the linking yesterday, I cannot do it yesterday now, so I have to come next day. Yeah, it's today that I came back. They said there's no network, so we are still there.
What time did you get here today?
I get here around 7.
Around 7 a.m. and it's past 10 a.m. That's in excess of 3 hours. I mean, tell me what's going to happen. Yesterday you couldn't do it. Today, 3 hours gone, you've not been able to do. What's going to happen if you're unable to do this?
Oh, I'll feel bad because yesterday I didn't go work. Today I didn't go work. If I'm not able to do it today, that means tomorrow I have to come back again. You see, that means I've wasted all my 3 days doing nothing.
And tomorrow is a holiday.
Oh, okay. But even at that, I'll still go to work.
It's very stressful being here. I've been here for more than 3 hours and we are not seeing anything. We are just standing here. We are quite tired too because there are no chairs for you to sit. Here comes the case. Tomorrow too is on a holiday. You can't come here unless Monday. Actually, I'll be going to school on Saturday. So if I don't do it today, I don't know when I can do it again.
I see. And I mean, the process has been running for quite a while, not just starting this week. What's been your story? Why did you not do it all this while?
I traveled. Where I went, how they did it was that there was some people who comes to do it for you at home. I think if they do it that way, it will be a little better than all of us coming to join here. They can even send some of the agents to go to houses to do it for them. I think that one will be best.
These are some of the stories that we're seeing, in fact, hearing this morning. But it goes beyond people being just frustrated to, physical tiredness. And we'll just turn around the camera for you to see people who really are, you describe as old people, really, wobbling legs and feet and all of that. They're now having to sit on the bare floor just as they wait for their turn to be able to go in there and register. Mommy, I'm a saying.
Emilia.
Aunt Emilia, I'm what's the family SIM registration?
The bill. Phone registration.
Oh, the Ghana card no ebe registration. Okay, now time ben I'll be do ah.
Ebe do about 6 o'clock na yewa. Okay. Up to now, yenti fi yeti network ni yenti yetra ho twese. Ebe ba.
Inti the whole day no corner say went to me and register by then.
Ah, say me ko fie, say me nyata bia me ba.
Okay. Now what is say?
66.
66. Okay, so Maps, this lady, she says her name is Emilia. She's 66 years old and she's come here to get her SIM card re-registered. She's been here since 6 a.m. as she just told me in Chi, but it's been giving the feedback that the network is down.
My colleague Manuel Kranting, who's been on the ground since the morning, has been visiting some of the service outlets to monitor the process and joins me with more. Manuel, good afternoon. Can you describe the exact situation at the places you've visited so far?
Also, not much has changed since our earlier report in the morning. At most of the offices, like outlets that I've visited today, the situation is pretty much the same. Long queues with people stranded, only waiting to get their SIM card re-registered as directed by the National Communications Authority. For most of these places, MTN outlets like you just saw in your shots. I've been also to some Airtel Tigo offices. The picture is quite different over here, as a lot of the people are seeming to go through the process without any challenge. In fact, we're told by the officials at Airtel Tigo that they do not have a problem with the platform today, even though they admit that in the past they've had challenges with the platform, which we're told was sanctioned by the National Communications Authority for the purposes of this particular re-registration exercise.
Manuel, what have you gathered so far as the reason for the delay in the process?
Well, so this platform that is being used for the re-registration exercise is the main reason for the delay in the process. We're told that it is down And even though the officials at the National Communications Authority would not speak to us on record, our sources in there say that this platform is one that was built by Kelnick GVG for the National Communications Authority for the purpose of this particular exercise. And so what we know is that the platform has been built by Kelnick GVG for the NCA, which in turn has directed the telcos to use for the re-registration exercise. It's just turning out that a lot of the outlets that are using this platform are, facing challenges with the platform, saying that the system is down. So that's generally the main reason, because at the areas where we were, the platform was working, the queues, even though are still pretty much, characteristically long, are moving quite smoothly. And so without the system being down, you might not have had so many queues and so many delays at the other outlets.
Manuel, you've also been speaking to some others who will not even visit the outlets to get registered. What did they tell you?
Yeah, so these are mostly workers who, do 8 to 5 jobs, and as we speak, are already in their offices, for instance, going about their normal work duties and so on and so forth. They say that given the fact that while the outlets of these telcos are open, they would also be at work. And so it would be pretty much impossible for them to be able to leave work and then come and spend these long hours at the outlets of telcos without even being successful to, with their registration. And so they're asking that other, alternatives are fashioning out by the National Communications Authority for the, for them to be able to re-register their SIM card without necessarily having to abandon their duty post at work and so on and so forth. They ask that perhaps in the weekends there should be a few hours that will be allocated to people who do 8 to 5 jobs to be able to come there and re-register their SIM card.
All right, thank you very much. That's Joy News reporter Manuel Conting, and he's been giving us an update of the SIM card re-registration that's ongoing around Accra. Let's move on to other stories now, because the craze for a new car plate and the associated congestion at the Driver Vehicle Licensing Authority's offices have reduced drastically. Now, the DVLA is attributing the phenomenon to new measures it began rolling out late last year to ease the process of vehicle registration at the various centres. Some new car owners have so far lauded the authority for introducing this new measure.
You are the owner of this Nissan car. How has the process been for you?
Oh, the process has been good. I just entered and then they check 1 or 2, the documentation and other things, the custom document. So I've been told to remove the tint, this thing from the car. So I've done that. So I'm waiting for their final approval for me to take to the next steps. Yeah.
So there's an online and an in-person. I mean, do you think it's a better system than previously when you have to come and do everything here?
Oh, I think it's good. I mean, when you combine the two, it's good, because sometimes some of the things you have to come in person, some of the things you have to do it online, especially during the registration you have to do it online. But this particular one you have to come so that the assessment can be done easily for you to take your car home. Yeah.
So this is a new vehicle owner. Hopefully he will get some of his documents so he can complete the process here. Bossman, let me ask you, so I mean you've gone through the process. How's the process for you?
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
When you went through the online system, have you registered the car before? Let me ask you first of all.
Yes, please.
Comparing the old system and the new system, which one do you think is better?
They are all okay. Yes, please.
But one of the biggest challenges that the DVLA has been facing is, fraudsters, guru boys, as the people call them. I mean, what do you make of that? Do you think it's a much better system? Is checking the guru boys?
Yes, please.
On the issue of Goro Boys, Director of Public Relations at the DVLA, Francis Tofo, told Joy News, instead, engaging such people, car owners should consider issuing authority notes to the authority for the registration process on their behalf.
We run this announcement several times. We've also run media campaign about this on numerous occasions, that people shouldn't give their documents to anybody. Yes, we have people who register vehicles for institutions, agencies, or individuals who pay their nature of work, for instance, a producer, a journalist, or whatever, if you know you have somebody trusted in your office, you can give that person some authority or some power to register or by that I MFA or I whatever, I cannot come to DVLA to register my vehicle.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it to maybe Evans to do that for me with your signature, your number, and perhaps stamp. They will verify, will confirm to check if that is MFA or who before proceeding.
Okay.
However, people take delight. Well, there's some kind of excitement if you buy a car, you want to register. We said it that with the price that we charge for registration of vehicles are less than 1,000 times than what I understand some of these guru guys have been charging.
Okay.
Yes, for instance, the registration of a vehicle, some cars will even take you more than 500 cities.
All right.
Yet some of these guys outside somewhere will charge 1,000 and 1,500, and if, to add it on, they will give you fake documents. Let me just give you example of a colleague of mine. He works at the bank. He was my mate. She was given a bank loan, a car loan. She bought a car, and she told me she gave her document to someone to register for her. So I wasn't so happy. The truth to what my findings were or what I expected.
Okay.
He told me that her document, these guys asked her to sit down. They bought drink for her. They bought pie for her. Later on, they bought rice for her, plus chicken added to her. Eventually, they registered a vehicle. They claimed they registered the vehicle for her. Fake documents, fake number plate, and above all, they also photocopied her documents in an attempt to register another vehicle. So the best of it is that have that confidence. Instead, the price lists are there. Okay. You have staff who are ever ready to help you. So they shouldn't pass any
Director of Public Relations at the DVLA, Francis Tufo, giving or addressing the issue of Goro boys at the DVLA. Away from that, Joy News investigations have uncovered how children trafficked for a sum of 1,000 Ghana cedis to work on cocoa farms at Elochrome in the Western North region. One of the victims, Rashida, said her master started using her when she was 11 years old. She told investigative journalist Kwetenate that she has wishes to return to the classroom.
Rashida was trafficked from Chereponi by Musa. She was in class 6 at a basic school in Chereponi. Working long hours is not new to Rashida. She says she has served 4 years already under her old master. She was just 11. She is now serving for 1,000 Ghana cedis, which will be paid to her parents. There is no intention of her master sending her to school. Another girl the investigative team came across is Memuna. She's serving 4 years for an amount of 1,200 Ghana cedis. She was also brought from Chereponi by the same Musa. When she isn't hawking on the streets of Elochrome, she assists with weeding on the cocoa farms.
Those were some excerpts of our latest Hotline documentary, Children in Cocoa Labor. It will be airing Monday, 10th January at 8:30 a.m. on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, also at 8:30 p.m. on the Joy News channel, DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. On that note, I'm going to take a break. We'll be back with more.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Digital currency analyst and president of the African Consolidated Exchange, Ian Muller, is urging African financial regulators to fast-track processes to regulate digital currencies on the continent. According to him, digital currencies like Bitcoin have come to stay and are receiving international recognition in many transactions, hence cannot be ignored. He made the call after launching the Consolidated Exchange platform for currency and foreign exchange trade. Here's more in this report.
The Consolidated Exchange will serve as a primary platform for foreign exchange trading and commodity exchange for various minerals on the continent. According to the president, Ian Muller, regulating digital currencies will go a long way to help investors on the continent to gain more from the global financial market.
So you've seen cryptoization going on, massive adoption going on around the world. Right now, Africa is one of the leading regions of crypto, and crypto is a fact of life. It's here to stay. As you've seen in America already, the authorities there are now saying, hey, you know what? Crypto is not going anywhere. We might as well start finding ways to regulate. And so here on the African continent, crypto is largely unregulated. We're going to be self-regulating. And we look forward to the day when the regulators open the doors for us to start putting in applications. But crypto is the future.
Mr. Muller believes that having a platform like the African Consolidated Exchange will support the quest for Africa to have some control on pricing of its mineral commodities.
The main inspiration really being that over the years, I myself have been trading and have been trading with various brokers, various markets. I picked up that we here in Africa are left out when it comes to making the financial markets what they are. We have situations where, for example, a great chunk, almost 1/3 or almost 40% of commodities that the markets trade globally come from Africa. And we don't even participate in that market in terms of determining pricing, apart from just providing raw materials that are priced somewhere else. And so that was where everything came from. We're not going to change that overnight, obviously, we know that.
Mr. Muller said with steps taken to launch the ASEX platform, the company is of the firm conviction that over the next few years, the narrative will change and that this is what Africa needs at the moment.
Now, the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, is expected to meet the leadership of the Ghana Union of Traders Association and the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana today over the scrapping of the benchmark value policy on 43 selected items. The meeting is expected to iron out any challenge as a result of the implementation of the policy. The two groups have kicked against the implementation of the reversal of the benchmark value policy initially targeted at reducing import duty of those items. The Association of Ghana Industries has welcomed the reversal, saying it would boost local industry, but President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, disagrees.
Let them produce it at a competitive price. Let them produce it so that we buy from them. There are companies that are producing at competitive prices, and we do not even travel outside to bring those goods. So they should emulate those companies. But if they can produce at exorbitantly high prices, and expect us enforce it and expect government to untwist us, and then they will have their way. That is not how it is done. That is never how it is done. The factors that is militating against their business should be well communicated to government. The high cost of borrowing, the petroleum prices, high price of energy, high price of water, lack of modern technology of manufacturing input, that does not turn up productivity for them. They don't even know their problem. They don't know that this is what is fighting against them, and that they are not competitive. So nobody should be forced to buy something that is not competitive. We are in the democratic era. Much as we support government in this quest for industrialization, industrialization doesn't mean that you produce what is not quality, you produce what the price is not competitive, and force it on the throats of your people. That's not how it is, not in everywhere.
And we will report the outcome of that meeting once we have word. That's it for business. Up next is sports. Muftar will have some AFCON news. Stay tuned. Let's do some sports now. On Joy News today, I am Muftar Nabila Abdullah. Black Stars coach Milovan Ravage has noted that the players of 2010 and 2022 are quite different in terms of quality and mentality as he heads to his second tournament as coach of the national team. The Serbian led a young Black Stars team to the AFCON final in 2010 with many debutants, just as his current squad has got 17 players making their debut. But he knows that the difference in the two sets of teams is one thing that could play a huge role in his attempt to win the trophy for the country for the first time in 40 years. Still on AFCON 2021 and the Black Stars, Glyco General has provided an insurance package of 2 million Ghana cedis to the entire playing body and the officials for the competition. The cover is meant to protect the contingent representing the country in the tournament.
To boost your morale and even further, Glyco is indeed pleased to provide the entire team and officials. There's about 41 contingents. We're providing our sportsman package. This is a personal accident insurance cover, and it's a cover worth over 2 million Ghana cedis that we are providing for them. This cover will protect them, all the contingents, against all forms of accidents, and particularly for the players, accidents occurring both on pitch and off pitch. It is a 24-hour, 24/7 cover that we are giving to the team until they return back home safely. We believe this will go a long way to boosting the confidence of the team whilst they play. And we believe that they will come back home reigning champions.
And former Ghana defender and Black Stars Management Committee member Samuel Kufuor is optimistic Ghana can win AFCON when this crop of players are maintained for the next edition. According to him, the Black Stars teams that reached 3 finals in the last 14 years was built for many years.
Just to direct the players in the progressing form so that maybe in future, 2026, 24, there's more opportunity for us to win if we keep the same group. That's my concern. We need to have the team
consistency.
Yes. that like you could see that from 2002, we built it up to 2006 when we first go to the World Cup. So I think it's the same process. If the FA has the capability to do that, how many players generate from under 20 that recently won the AFCON into this team? We can maybe 4 of them are in the team. Yeah. So it's a process. So I believe that this team has a places to go if we just be consistent, like I said, in terms of the call-up.
You have watched the team train here in Doha, and if you are asked your impression about the team's training session, what will you say?
For me, the most important thing is the spirit in the camp is very high, and you can see there's a unity, there's a communication among the boys. Everybody is so happy to be here, and then I personally, what I'm seeing a positive side.
That is your sports for now, but we do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullahi.
Good afternoon, welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News today. Now, Parola is an Angolan R&B and Kizomba singer. Her real name is Chadira Sasingwi. In this exclusive interview with Joy News in London, the 38-year-old singer shared her journey of 15 years music career and also hopes of visiting Ghana. All right, Rola, fantastic performance you had there. My first time, watching you perform, and it was a blast. Tell us, so the Ghanaian fans out there who don't know you, tell us about you and your music.
Well, I'm an Angolan singer, and I sing kizomba, but I also deviate to more traditional music like kilapanga, and I just love performing. I'm a performer. When I'm on stage, I like to give 100%. I like to entertain the people that are watching me, and that's what I did tonight, and I'm really happy you guys liked it.
How long did you, start this music career? Because it looks like a lot of people, for the simple fact that they're jamming to all your songs, meaning that you've started this.
It's a long 16 years. Yeah, it's actually my first time here, but next time I'll come with a bigger structure, because that's how I do it. I love performing live with the band. That's how I do all the time. And today I came as my friends invited me, Kalema.
Tell me about doing music back home in Angola.
Oh, doing music day is a lot of fun. It's hard work because our music is growing now, and we also have, because we mostly sing in Portuguese, we have some language barrier. I guess that's why a lot of Ghanaian people, is that the way you say? Ghanaian people, they don't know our music because of the Portuguese. But once you get to know us, once we are on stage, and we do our best to interact with anybody that is in front of us. So one day I hope I'm going to have the pleasure to
Nago pense locote engague no meu peito mora tua fé. Sou contigo, sou mais mulher. Todos querem pagar pra ver, mas na verdade. Ladies and gentlemen, Parola. Esse amor é do tamanho de prédio. Fica assim que mais vive que On that note, we end Showbiz here on Joy News today. My name is Becky.
And that's it for Joy News today. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Mabita Sibidi. Up next is The Marketplace with Daryl, so stay.